Yes. Welcome to my channel. This is TresVegan, or how I like to pronounce it, TresVegan. But I'm Tres, and welcome to my channel. I just wanted to come in, introduce myself, reintroduce myself to some, and just let everyone know what we're about here on my channel and see if this is a community you want to be a part of. I won't keep you too long. This is just like a welcome video, so I won't keep you too long. But yes, I wanted to welcome you to my channel. It's just a space where I'm going to share my journey. You're going to hear me as a Black American, as an Afro-American woman. You're going to just hear about my journey through my veganism, my health, mental, physical, as well as spiritual. I'm going to take you through my running journey and how I'm strengthening that hobby, that skill. I'm also going to take you through my veganism journey and how I kind of deal with eating plant-based on a budget, because I know, especially in the climate, we're all on a budget here. So with eating plant-based, where you're not having to spend a lot of money, because veganism is plant-based eating does not have to be something that's really expensive. If you get down to the basics, it's really, really affordable, and it's good for your health. So we're gonna discuss some plant-based ideas. We may throw in a recipe or two here, but really just the idea. I just want to plant the seed and let you run with it. Also, I'm a fashion girly, but being vegan, it's about more than just how you eat. It's really a sustainable lifestyle. It's really about a sustainable lifestyle. It's really a philosophy that you live by. So definitely we're going to discuss a bit more, but I just wanted to give you a synopsis of what we're going to be talking about. Basically fitness, my perspective on veganism as a Black American, Afro-American woman, and just how we can be ethical, stylish, as well as elevated. African American, Afro-American, you'll hear me use those interchangeably because they pretty much mean the same thing. But just to not offend anyone on my part, I do say Afro-American instead of African American. So you'll hear me using Black American, Black, which is my race, and Afro-American or African American, which is my ethnicity. You'll hear me using that interchangeably. To my channel, TresVegan or TresVegan, and I'm Tres. And again, welcome. We're just going to take you through my journey as a Black American woman, Afro-American woman, on a journey of fitness, getting healthier, physically, mentally, spiritually, running. I am in preparation and have goals to run marathons. So definitely I'm going to take you on the journey there, as well as we're going to journey through plant-based food and how to be fashionably sustainable, ethical, and be able to participate in some of those classic looks that we all know and love, but you can do it ethically and you don't have to participate in fast fashion, something that's harming our environment. It can all be done ethically and sustainably to the best of your ability. So that's really what veganism is about to me, just participating to the best of your ability. So with that being said, let's go ahead and cut into my story and how I got started through this journey. Little bit about my story, just a little, and how I made the choice to become vegan. I actually started out pescatarian. I went pescatarian after I had my son in 2012. I just became pescatarian in 2014 at the start of that year, because the entire year of 2013, after I had my son, whenever I would eat certain foods that were heavy in like grease, fat, I was still non-vegan at the time. So I was having all the worst types of meat. Like I didn't like healthy lean meats. I wasn't a big fan of like turkey. I love ham, bacon, and just, pork sausage, like all the worst things. I didn't even really like beef like that. And I only like chicken if you could the seasoning needs to be through the meat. Like I really wasn't a big fan of meat. I was a big fan of flavor, even back then, like flavor and like fat and grease. Like even now as a vegan, I have to watch myself, but it was horrible back then. And so whenever I would revert back to my old eating habits pre-pregnancy, it was a no-no. I would get sick, like, vomiting sick. So, a trigger warning there, but I would get sick, like I was not able to digest anything, headaches, fatigue, the works. And so I just knew that something had to be done, because there was no way I was going to go on getting sick every time I'm trying to eat, having to pull over on the side of the road, and like, no. So I kind of just started looking at how I was eating, and I decided that, again, even back then, the foods that I was eating, particularly when it came to like the meat I was eating, it wasn't the best. And so due to that, I just decided to go full pescatarian. Now, when I was pescatarian, I wouldn't eat meat, but I would still eat eggs, and I would still eat cheese and like yogurt. So I would still participate in dairy, the consumption of like cows, but I would just would focus on my meats to be specifically seafood. So shellfish, fish, the works. Well, no, not. I was about to say insects, but no, but just seafood. And so that lasted for a while. I went pescatarian in 2014. I was pescatarian all the way up until 2018, a year before I ventured into my veganism. And I started experiencing, and at first it was going great. My pescatarian journey was going great. I wasn't experiencing as many issues as I had been pre-pescatarian days. I was even getting active more, making sure I was drinking my water. I was even meal prepping. So I was doing all the things, but that wasn't, I wasn't disciplined enough to stay really consistent with that. And so I still was pescatarian, but I would start having issues because I was still eating junk majority of my time, because I would fall off of like my meal prepping. So I would still be eating like chips and ice cream and candy, all the things that I was eating post pregnancy and having my child, that were making me sick. And so I started still experiencing really bad symptoms. It moved up to sinus infections, and I was having really bad teeth aches. My digestion got so bad that whenever I tried to eat something, it was just like gas would build, and it wasn't like trapped gas literally in my stomach, or just like my stomach was brick hard. It was like I just was not digesting anything. And so I knew something had to change. It was so bad, I blamed pescatarianism, and I just went back to eating meat. Of course, that didn't help. And so I started my journey then with medicine and going through the hospital route, just care system. But like a lot of Black American women like myself, especially those of us who are more richly melanated, we do know what it's like to go into a doctor's office, let them know you're experiencing pain, and have them dismiss your pain. And that's basically exactly what happened to me. I was treated, thankfully, and I was told that I had high blood pressure. So that kind of gave me a map that I could go, that I could follow, to kind of help, to kind of see what I needed to do to reverse these health effects. So that was an amazing result from that. But it was really, really an isolating and disheartening feeling to not be taken care of when I was actively reaching out for help through the healthcare system. It was not taken seriously at all. And so I had to take the matters into my own hands. I started doing research, my research took me to a site called Black Girls Run, where I fell in love with running as a meditative and healing process for you, because I was not active at all. Well, I did work out, but that's not fair. I worked out off and on my whole life, but running, like running on the treadmill or even running outside, I steered away from that. I was always a walker. I loved to walk, and I would try to run sometime, but I always fell off. It was never consistent. And so this time I said to myself, I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to run. I want to discipline myself and be consistent enough to call myself a runner. Like, I'm going to run. And that's exactly what I did. And I've fallen in love with it. I also, my research took me to Dr. Sebi and his alkaline veganism or plant-based practices. And so that's what I did at the start of 2020. Following the Dr. Sebi plan, I went alkaline plant-based. And it was I was on it at first, the alkaline plan, and making sure that I was doing my running, getting some type of workout and movement in. I also incorporated intermittent fasting as well as elongated fasting. And that's something that you should definitely speak with your medical professional about before you attempt it. But for me, I've been fasting for about 10 years or so now. So I'm kind of, my footing is pretty solid in this. So I was able to fast for long periods of time, anywhere between 3 to the longest I fasted is 31 days as of recent. So I definitely dibble and dabble in the elongated fasting, but intermittent fasting is something that I do every single day. Sometimes, if I have an event or a trip or something like that, I may, cheat, if you will, but intermittent fasting is what I do every day. And so just incorporating different things, running, physical activity, changing my lifestyle, changing my diet completely, I started to see results. However, now I don't consider myself alkaline vegan. I am plant-based vegan, high raw vegan, if you will, because I do incorporate fresh fruits and fresh veggies into my regimen daily. I cannot live without fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, and so I definitely consider myself high raw, but I am not alkaline, and that's not something that I practice anymore. But that's a little bit about my veganism journey here. I did go on it for health reasons, but going on it for health reasons, you definitely get to see a bigger picture, and you start to feel the connection of your lifestyle, not only for yourself, but for the animals, for our environment, and for our environment, as well as for human beings. So I want to get into the actual definition of veganism. So yeah, guys, just to close it out, because I've kept you here way longer than I thought, but just to close it out, my goal is to inspire you to live a life that's sustainable, stylish, and strong, to live a life that's ethical and elevated. And it's easier than you think it is. Veganism doesn't have to be something that's all extravagant. Literally, the definition to veganism, I just want to read this really quickly. According to the Vegan Society, veganism is a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as is possible and practical, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, and other purpose, and by extension promotes the development and use of animal-free alternatives for the benefit of animals, humans and the environment. So it's not just for animals, it's for humans, it's for the environment. Our earth is for us all. We're all connected on this beautiful planet we call Earth. And so we just got to take care of each other, you know, while we are here to the best of our abilities. We're just getting up every day and trying your best and having that opportunity. That's really all anybody can ask for. So yeah, that's my goal, to just inspire you. So if you're ready to join me in this community. Yes, so that was a little bit about me, TresVegan. It's been a long time coming. It really has. It's been a long journey, but I wouldn't give it up for anything. This veganism journey, my fasting journey, has been one of the most rewarding journeys outside of motherhood. You know, and my family, veganism has been the most rewarding. So I'm just so thankful for this journey, and I'm just so thankful that I am able to be here and to talk about it the way I am. I just want to let you know what to expect on the channel. You can expect some easy vegan meal ideas on a budget. You can expect some thrifting hauls, you know, here and there, because we don't want to overly consume to protect our environment. So you can expect some thrifting hauls, secondhand hauls. You can also expect some styling tips for classic pieces so you can look ethical and elevated at the same time. You can expect some running vlogs, and just me talking about how I am gearing up and training to run my marathons. I plan on running a 5K, 10K, half marathon, ultra marathon. I want to do it all. So absolutely, I'm gonna take you on that journey so I can have like that accountability partner, because right now I'm struggling. Like, I'm in the 5-mile range, and I'm like 5 miles takes me out of here. So I need that accountability so I can keep on getting stronger and stronger. So yes, you can just expect to come with me on this journey to see me grow. And I just want to give some positive vibes in this world that's so full of negative right now. And of course, it's not going to negate the bad things that's going on, but maybe just give some hope in how you can feel better from the inside out when we're all going through these tumultuous times. So definitely, and all of this will be shared from my lens as a Black American woman, Afro or African American woman, because our history is deep in this veganism game, like okra, even rice, y'all, like deep in the African roots. And I know, you know, my ancestors, it's been they're you know, it's been a long time since they touched ground in Africa, so that's why I say I'm an Afro-American, but we still got it's still some cultural ties there. So definitely the culture is rich. And yeah, I can't wait to take you on this journey and discuss it all with you. And thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity.